Thank you very thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. And so our moderator, thank you so much for that kind introduction. And I'm truly happy to be here today. And also permit me to render a special greeting to my esteemed colleague, the first speaker, second, and the third speaker. They've actually spoken well so far, and it has been an awesome session, and I'm very inspired to hear from your insights. So thank you so much. So okay, thank you. So before we actually go into the topic for today, which is how to avoid common career killing mistake early in your career life, I want us to start with a simple thought. And I want it to be an engaging session whereby we can always we can raise up our hand if at all we have something to say while we get you covered. So how many of us has ever wished that what we know now we could have known it then? That we felt that what we know now we have known it then, probably some 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. How many of us? Sorry, please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hello?
hear you. We can hear
Okay.
you. I
Okay.
think
So
people are giving reactions, thumb up, and all of that.
okay, thank you. So because now in our early career now, especially in our fast evolving tech industry, such as QA, HR, and some other industries, we always find it very easy to rush in with excitement. But when we get there, we discover that the passion we had will not really sustain us on the job. For example, now myself, I study psychology, and I've always had in mind of being a clinician, of practicing psychology. But it got to a time when the reality dropped on me, then I had to move into HR, where I had to take another uh, course to go into HR. But while going into HR, I felt that I have what it takes to do HR. But when I got there, it was really a mixture of both the good and the bad, like as you can call it. So, Mr. Adeli, please can you move on to the first slide? Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Early career mistake can have lasting effects, not habits shape our long-term outcomes. Many young professionals understand how much early choices can make or mar their career, like poor planning, avoiding responsibility, or lacking direction, which can actually restrict our progress. Our career is our responsibility, and we should not let any early mistake write your story. Most of us here on the call, we can actually, if we are given the time to share how far we've gone in our career, the foundation of our career, we have a story to tell. And while building our career, most of us can actually point out to some early mistakes they've actually made. And even not for the fact that they're conscious of such acts, they were able to reshaping it and where they are today. Career growth is like compounding interest. The earlier you invest in learning, networking, and skills building, the greater your return over time. The earlier speakers, they've actually made mention of training, they've made mention of learning, they've made mention of networking, they've made mention of skill building in terms of gardening qualification. So the earlier we start investing in all of these things, the greater our return over time will be in terms of promotions, in terms of and other things, and also benefit on the job. Every good decision made early, whether it is seeking mentorship, setting smart goals, or simply showing up consistently set you on a trajectory that becomes harder to replicate later. So for every decision we actually make today, we help us become who we want to become in the nearest future. So please, next slide. Yeah, thank you so much. So I know that many of us could have actually heard about smart framework before. Some of us have actually used that consciously or subconsciously in our professional and also in our personal life. So here we are going to make use of smart framework to identify uh, some early career mistakes young professionals made while coming into the industry. So the S stands for specific, the M stands for measurable, the A stands for achievable, the R stands for relevant, and the T stands for time bound. The SMART framework is one of the best practice frameworks for setting goals that are specific, that are measurable, achievable, that are relevant, and also that are time bound. The S here stands for specific, like I said earlier, which means to be specific as possible with the desired goal. If I gave an example in the template that says, for example, go enhance test coverage for the new mobile application. And probably due to the fact that I'm in fintech, that's why I'm able to make use of this example, because our QA engineers, they make use of, they actually do an act of this, whereby the company has an objective to implement or to produce a new mobile application. And you as a QA engineer, then you can actually be specific on the goal by which you want to do, which is to enhance test coverage for the new mobile application. To enhance test coverage, it could be on manual or automatic. Then the next one here is measurable. Measurable means it is an evidence that can be tracked to monitor progress. Most of our QA guys does this, whereby they make use of progress bar in terms of bar charts to measure what they've done over time and to know if there is progress in what they are doing. The next one here is achievable. Achievable means to ensure that the goal is realistic. The goal that has been set is realistic and is possible to complete or maintain within the set time frame. For example, I think the first speaker was talking about the role of QA now in the modern world, whereby QA had to work with different departments. That's where collaboration actually comes in. You collaborate with other team members across different departments. In my organization, our QA collaborates with core banking, they collaborate with MIS, they collaborate with different SBU, just to ensure that the goals the company sets are done. Then the next one here is relevant. Relevant means to make sure that the goal itself aligns with the value and the long-term goals and objective. Just like SQA here has a core value by which they are actually looking at. So we must ensure that the goal that has been set is something that aligns with the company's direction. We should examine if there are forces that are around us that can actually make the goal comes to reality in our environment. So then the last one, yes, is time-based or time-bound. Time-bound refers to making sure that the goal is set within an appropriate time frame. That we should set a time frame. If you want to do something, you can say, okay, I want to achieve this thing in the next 3 months. I want to achieve this thing in the next 5 months or thereabouts. So that's what smart goals is all about. So please, next slide. So here we are going to look at the common career killing mistakes and how smart help us to avoid them. One of the career killing mistakes we've made in the time past was, number one, lack of direction. I will use myself as an example. While growing up, I actually lacked direction. I don't know what I wanted. So, and there are other people coming into the field of QA now that they are still wandering around. They don't know what they want. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I want to be a clinician or I want to be an HR. So we have so many people that are still victims of this particular arts, that they are still wandering around. They don't know what to do. Yeah, we can actually set a specific goals, which is I want to become a certified QA engineer, or I want to earn my ACIPM uh, qualification or certification in the next 18 months or in the next 12 months, depending on what you want. Then the second common career killing mistake we make is not building skill sets. They've actually made mention of this the other time. One of the mistakes we made here is some of us don't build skill sets. We ignore technical or soft skill sets. And the truth is that the other time, the other speakers were talking about the need to build a soft skill set on the job. And the first speaker made mention that the knowledge you don't have on the job, you won't be able to transfer it to other team members. So on the job, you can develop the hard skill sets, but the soft skill sets most time are natural tendencies. Like now, you see some people whereby they are being empathetic. Some people are being very, very empathetic. Some people are active listener. On the job, you can only develop skill sets or soft skill sets on the job. However, hello, can you hear me? Okay. So on the job, you can always develop your soft skill set in terms of communication, in terms of teamwork, in terms of empathy. You can always develop that in terms of problem solving or conflict resolution. But for hard skill sets, you we always for hard skill set. Sorry for that. For hard skill set, hello, please can you hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, so thank you. So for asking sex, while you come on the job, that's when you can actually learn. You can learn on how to get asking sex in place. But for soft skill sets, you can always develop. You've gotten it already. Like I said, there are natural tendencies that like an innate inbuilt thing in us, whereby we have it already. But while on the job, then it's going to get better and better while on the job. Then the third common career killing mistake we make is saying yes to everything. Some of us or some young professionals coming to the field, they don't know how to say no. They always say yes to everything. Okay, and before you know it, they're already burnt out and they will lack they won't be able to prioritize what they that their skill. Like it brings about poor uh prioritization. And how you can actually fix this, you should be realistic and relevant in choosing what aligns with your career vision. So the first one here is open job open. Like what the first speaker actually said. So I always make reference to what the previous speaker has said, because I think they've actually given us some examples that we can use. So for the job open, we see some people whereby they always move through job every 12 months. Some people every 5 months. And the truth is that it's so common among the tech experts that most HR people have actually liking the tech guys as they are like let me say is figuratively though, that they are like positive, whereby they always move from one job to another job within the space of probably 5 months, some 8 months, and etc. So some people are not really stable on the job and they lack identity. They lack identity. So and when someone lacks identity, it can be a career killing. It can be career killing to the person's career. So for us to fix this, we can always ensure that we stay in a role for at least 18 months to learn and contribute meaningfully to the organization. So now we go to the next slide. barriers that prevent career goal achievement. The first one here is procrastination. Procrastination. And procrastination is known as the thief of time. And the reality is that sometimes we delay applying for goals, we delay submitting CVs, we delay attending networking events. And when we delay doing all of these things, it means a lot of opportunities and it brings about career stagnation. And for us to fix this kind of thing, we need to break large tasks into small, specific, and time bound goals. For example, now I can decide that okay, I want to be applying to 2 jobs every Friday. So then, before you know it, it will come one day. Like, I will get an offer one day. So the other one here is lack of motivation and learned helplessness. So it is difficult to try to move ahead in one's career when you already believe that you will fail. And some people, even before they even do any other thing, they will always tell you that I cannot do this thing. I've failed. I remember then when I was in school, I had a colleague then. If you want to do exam or when we are writing exam, you always talk to himself that you this guy, you cannot pass, you cannot do this thing. So even before the result comes out, the guy has already believed that he will fail. So as young professionals coming into the industry, we should ensure that we don't have this kind of thing in our back mind that we fail. No, we don't need to do that. So the reality is that when we do all of these things, we will not be passionate and we will feel stuck in our career. And what used to interest us becomes something that does not have any meaning to us again. So, and by then, we will not be able to push ourselves beyond the comfort zone. We could have actually rendered ourselves limited to a particular position on the job. And for us to actually fix this, we should ensure that we tie our goals to our passion. We tie our goals to our passion. The next one here is fear of failure. Fear of failure. Like I said, some people they see themselves as failures already, even before the society terms them as failure. And the only person they can actually term you as failure is yourself. So some people does not really apply for roles or promotion because they feel that they are not ready. They don't really apply for roles. Like if they see an opening, they feel that no, I'm not ready yet. Let me get this thing. Let me get this thing. Or probably because we felt that we are too small to occupy the position, the position. So and why it's odd is that it's odd because the person will remain small forever or for that time, for that particular time. And for us to do this, we must ensure that we embrace the learning curve and we should ensure that we set achievable goals to ourselves. We should ensure that we stretch ourselves to ensure that we're able to fulfill what we have in place. So the next one here is the traits of imposter syndrome and negative self-thought. In imposter syndrome, we always feel like you are a fraud, even when you are qualified for a particular goal. You undermine your confidence. You feel that all of these things I've been doing over time, it's because probably I don't have a proper challenger, I don't have a true competitor. And before you know it, it's already killing one's career. And sometimes also we can even feel that I'm not good enough to handle this particular task. I'm not good enough to lead a meeting. I'm not good enough to become the team lead. And it has actually rendered a lot of people to be stagnant in the same position for a very long period of time. The next one here is lack of a support system. Some people does not really have mentor, they don't have a coach, they don't have a cheerleader. And from there, it has actually killed their career over time. So and when one does not have a support system, it could bring about missed growth moments. Some of us, the job we are on today, we're being referred to by a mentor, we're being referred to by a coach, or we're being referred to as a cheerleader. While some people that does not really have a mentor, that does not really have a coach, that does not really have a support system, might actually have some kind of stagnation in their career. So, and for us to actually ensure that we fix this, we should ensure that we network intentionally. and we build relationships. Most of us go for conferences, and when you go for conferences, we should ensure that we build network. The next one here is limiting belief. Limiting belief. So a limiting belief is a state of mind that restricts you in some way. Like you'll be hearing something like, I'm not too good, like I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough to manage this project, I'm too young to be a manager. Like some people even will tell me that I don't have enough money to invest in myself for training, for self-development. So it has really caused a lot of careers to be stagnant for in a particular position for a very long period of time. And some people, they even tell themselves that I'm not really talented. And before you know it, the position that they were even looking up to give to them, then they were actually getting that business. So please, the next one. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to give like a real life scenario about a guy called Tola. Tola is a tech intern. So Tola procrastinated on learning GitHub, and he actually lost a job offer. He lost a job offer, and then Tola set in a smart goal that he should master GitHub Basis for 2 weeks and 1 hour daily. So that means he was able to learn GitHub Basis for like 14 hours within the next 2 weeks. So as a result of Tola ensuring that he makes use of the smart framework, Tola became a junior developer with solid version control skill set, and he was able to get a job. So in conclusion, avoiding career killers is not about perfection, but it is about purpose and planning. Success in your early career is not magical, but methodological. Like it's about planning. Like I said, while building your career, challenge negative self-talk, embrace failure as growth, and replace limiting belief with positive ones. Seek support, visualize success, and stay persistent. Stay persistent. Success is built on action and an open, evolving mindset. So as we are going further in our journey and in our career, we should ensure that we have an open and an evolving mindset. And from here, it will always ensure that our career booms over time. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.